Welcome to the Joyage Kingdom. In today's video, we'll be talking about what I've learned after over a decade of making YouTube videos. Yes, you heard me right. A fucking decade. If you're excited for me to get into, if you're excited to learn about this shit and get some of the tips and tricks and perspectives and things I picked up over the last decade, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, smash that like button. I appreciate it so much. You have no idea how much it helps. As the biggest thing I've ever learned is the like button is the catalyst for going absolutely parabolic in the YouTube arena. Follow me on Twitter. If you're not in my Discord down below the description, you're hurting yourself. Let's get into this video. So this is my YouTube channel, and this is actually sorted by oldest. So if you scroll back on my main channel, this is the same channel you're watching this on. 10 years ago, insane soccer goals, soccer game footage championship, soccer knuckleballs, how to bend it like Beckham. Bro, you can find some funny ass cringy content on here too. Especially this video, how to bend it like Beckham. This is pre-puberty, so you can hear my voice. This is me in my garage doing juggling. I was trying out all types of different kind of content, doing collaborations. I was here early, bro. I was here back in the fucking day. This is like, what is this? 2009, 2010 or something like that. If you also don't know this is only if you're watching this video, you'll know. I have a second channel. Well, this is my first channel actually. It's called Cade Bergman with no space. And it's fucking wild, dude. What is the main difference here? I guess the main difference is just lowercase and it has a soccer picture as my thing. But this I started uploading. It says 10 years ago. I think there was videos on here that were 12 years old that I deleted. There's a lot of videos in here that I believe are gone now, which sucks because I don't even remember if I have the login for this account anymore. But I've made a lot of videos, and something you didn't see on these because these are all soccer videos is I also did a stint in fitness. I did a stint in like mental health. I did a full joy. Like the reason I have the Joyage Kingdom is because I went on this trip that I called the Joyage, which is like a trip that I went on. And on this trip, I traveled and I was a travel photographer. That's what I was. And I did that. And so that was dope for me. And so I did travel content, like I did all the things. I did all the things. So I want to talk about what I've learned over the past 10 years of making YouTube videos. One, I've learned that persistence and trying things and flipping every single fucking stone is the only way to do it. You will not succeed until you've flipped over every single stone. Now, this is gonna be the most important tip of all time that you'll ever have. If you ever want to start your own YouTube channel, the only way you will ever catch the algorithm is if you fill a niche that needs to be filled. If you don't do that, you will never ever catch the algorithm. Ever. I don't care how good you are at something, how funny you are on camera. You have to solve a problem or fill a niche that needs to be filled that's not being filled yet. The reason my YouTube channel picked up after 10 years, 12 years maybe, is because I made a video one day called Head Down NFT Exploding. The reason I made that video is because something happened. The project took off. I forget. It was like a 16-year-old kid made this project and it was going viral on Twitter. No one was this is back way before. Like this is like in the summer or something of 2021. This is before all the NFT channels started popping off. It was literally just NFT Verse and Giancarlo and that's pretty much it. That all I remember at least. And so no one was making NFT market updates. No one was making strategy videos. Nobody was making reviews. And so I stepped in and became that. I started the trend of reviews, of reaction videos, stuff like that. And I tried to come in as an entertainer. I've watched YouTube my whole life. That's another thing. You have to study the craft that you want to do. Study the experts. Study the people who are doing the thing you want to do, and model yourself after them. And copy them in the beginning. Copy them until you find your own shit. I copied a lot of people: Logan Paul, Peter McKinnon, Mike Myers. I loved all those vlogger people, but I'm not a vlogger. I tried vlogging. I hated it. But what I did is I know, and I've tried, and I've had the experience, and I have the confidence to know that I am an entertainer first. I do analysts and reviews and podcasts and stuff, but I come from a background of entertainment. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at making YouTube videos. NFT content just happens to be what I'm filming right now. That just happens to be what is up right now. So I'm making NFT content. If the world changes and it becomes less NFT focused, it becomes something focused on something else, I'll have to pivot because I'm an entertainer. I'm not an NFT YouTuber. That's the reason I'm going to win. The reason I'm going to win is because I'm an entertainer. I'm a YouTuber. I'm an NFT YouTuber second. I will make NFT content probably because the NFTs are going to take over the world. So I imagine I'll be making NFT content forever. But I mean, that's the reason I make different kinds of videos. Like I have a reaction video coming up. I have this is going to be fun. It's an NFT YouTuber. How do I say this? NFT YouTuber where imitate them, like imitating NFT YouTubers, where I just like pick up on funny things that I've noticed about them and how they talk and stuff. It's just gonna be funny. I think it's gonna be funny. But I'm definitely an entertainer first, and I have no problem making content that I know is not gonna get views. Like this video is probably not gonna get a lot of views. It's okay though, because I understand the power of brand, and I understand that, and I actually implement those things that I talk about on my videos, where I talk shit about other projects not doing certain things. I make sure and do the things that I should be doing to grow a brand. I'm not making an NFT project right now, but I'm not going to need to. I'm going to have such a powerful brand one day that when the time comes, if I decide to do an NFT project, the marketing will have already been done. I just have to announce the day and people will come. And that's how it works. Another thing I've learned after doing YouTube for 10 years is that people come and go, trends come and go, everything comes and goes and waves and ebbs and flows. And that's okay. There will be waves where I get 10 times as more views because of just the way the market is. And when there's a bearish time, like right now, my channel takes a dip to what it was at in the very beginning. I'm getting views and engagement at the levels of when I started because there's no one interested in NFTs right now. So I got to pivot and I got to make content that is going to be viewed and is interesting to people during a bearish sentiment. Obviously you're not going to make as much new project content because no one cares to mint new projects in a bear market. So you got to pivot. You got to do podcasts. You got to do reviews of projects that have already been. You got to do content that people are going to want to see. And you have to be able to think from that perspective. You also have to be aware that you're going to have to make some content that is for you. If you're a YouTuber and you're only making content for other people, you're going to get burned out. And you think you can run away from that burnout, but the longer you run away, it's just inevitable. It's going to catch you one day and then it's going to just crash and burn. So you really have to love this shit. If you want to be a YouTuber and you've never actually tried and you've never made content for more than 30 days straight, you don't know what you want. Try and make content for 30 days. Try and make content for 7 days straight. Try and make 2 pieces of content for every single platform for a week. I guarantee you probably can't do it. If you've never done it before, it's one of the hardest things ever. So it's funny because people talk shit about TikTokers and content creators saying they got it easy. They just make a video and like that's your whole job. It's like, okay, you try it. You try and make 2 pieces of content a day that people want to see and stay relevant. It's the hardest thing ever. The entertainment industry is cutthroat. It's famous for being cutthroat because it's fucking hard. It's one of the hardest industries, but there's no barrier to entry. Anyone can join. That's the best part. YouTube University is open to all. It's free to all. Anyone can start a YouTube channel tomorrow. I could have not started any of my YouTube videos and just upload the head down NFT and I would have exploded. And I could have started my NFT journey, my YouTube journey there. But since I have 10 years of experience, I have 10 years of editing experience, 10 years of video experience, 10 years of thumbnail experience, 10 years of title experience. I understand the game of YouTube. I was waiting for my chance. Now that I have my chance, I'm going to fucking win because this is what I've wanted to do. As you saw, for 10, 12 years, this is what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to this came from like a low insecurity from like back in the day when I was like a loser at this private school because my dad worked there and I got free tuition, but I wasn't like anyone there because they were all rich and I was not. So I was fed a lot of, girls who were not interested in me. I was fed a lot of like, you're the only Asian, so we're just going to pick on you because you're all we've got. I got bullied all the time. I wasn't taken seriously. The only thing that people cared about me was the fact that I could sort of play soccer decently and I always did my Latin homework so they could take it from me. By force sometimes. Cameron Ward, fuck you. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I didn't have many things that gave me importance, if that makes sense. Like I didn't do anything that set me apart. I was always the guy who never got invited to the party. Even in high school, when I transferred away to a public school, I was still the guy who kind of bounced from place to place because not everyone liked me or I couldn't figure out a way for me to become the guy who people always called to go to the party. And so my whole life has been chasing that. And it was only a couple years ago that I got out of that mindset and stopped chasing and started just being someone who people would want to be around, and that came from me letting go of all the hope and praying that it would happen and just saying, bro, if people want to fuck with me, they will, but the only way to do that is to go and do something cool. Like when I went on that trip to go travel and be a travel photographer and not work, it wasn't cool until it started working. Like no one was interested until they saw the place I was going. Then they were like, whoa, that's fucking lit. That's crazy. How are you doing it? And it's like, okay. The way you get people interested in you is by doing your own shit for the reasons that you want to do it for. And inevitably, after a certain amount of time, people are going to be like, damn, bro, that's actually kind of crazy that you did that. I wish I had the balls to do that. And that's something that I always thought growing up. I was always like, man, If only I had the balls to do that thing, you know? And I would always do it eventually. Eventually, it would just manifest in my head and I would just do it. Like, for one example, when I was a freshman in high school, I watched this senior propose, prom pose to his girlfriend, or I don't know who she was, in front of the whole school in an assembly. And I was like, bro, one day I will be that confident to go and do a promposal in front of the whole school. So what I did was you'll have to find it on my Instagram potentially. I don't know if I posted it anywhere. I posted it somewhere. Actually, I think it might be on Twitter. I did a promposal at the pep rally with 4,000 people watching. I think it was, or something crazy. Thousands of people were watching, and I did it. And it was crazy. It was cool. It was whatever. It was terrifying. But it didn't make me feel any better after it made me feel cool for an hour. And then now I don't care. And that's because it wasn't my thing that I wanted to do. And once you do that thing that you've always wanted to do and you start to get some momentum and start to get some confidence, that self-esteem is built through you doing stuff and testing yourself and trying things and being a pioneer. In this world, not in this world, humans are meant to pioneer. We're here to try things, burn things down, try them again, get better, build better tools, figure out solutions to problems. That's what we're here to do. And for me, it's not every human. Everyone's got their place in the universe or what they want to do. But for me, I've always wanted to create. I'm not happy if I'm not creating. I'm really not. What I do is I create. I've always done that. I've always treated my Instagram, I've always treated my social media as practice for something I wanted to do. I always knew this is what I wanted to do. I just hoped it would happen one day. And so I've always watched content with that mindset of what can I take from this to apply to myself later down the line. I did that with everything. Every job I worked was experience for me to be able to not do that shit again. Every job I got was, okay, what are the things that I can pick from this and rip this piece apart, rip this team apart, rip this job apart to where I can take something from this and not have to do this shit ever again. I fucking hated working. I hated every second of it. I hated everything to do with it. So I need to figure out everything about this fucking world so I can learn how to play this game of Monopoly and not suck and hate my life the whole time. I need to figure out how this shit works a little bit. It's like when you play Pokemon for the first time or any game. After you beat the game and you replay, it maybe isn't, I don't know. I've always thought the first time playing a game is just stressful because you don't know where to go. It's hard for me to enjoy the game when I want to hurry up and see how it ends up or whatever. And the beauty of gaming and video games is that you can finish the game and start over. And then you have a little bit less pressure and you can enjoy yourself a little more. Like, as I've played Pokemon, I enjoy playing Pokemon now more than I did in the very beginning because I know what I'm doing. I feel comfortable. I feel confident in what I'm doing because I'm like, oh, I've done this before. I know how this works. And that's just for me. That's how it's always been. Like, I've always looked forward to my 20s and 30s when I was a kid because I was ready to not be constantly struggling for answers and not constantly be asking people for help. I was like, why can't I just fast forward and just know the answers? But there's no fast forwarding. You just figure out the answers until one day you know some of them and can give back. But you're always got to be curious. If you want to succeed in this industry of YouTube, you got to be good at talking to a camera. You got to be good at being vulnerable. You got to be good at sharing. You got to get good at those things. You can't get good at those things without doing it. You have no choice but to put in the work and put in the hours. You can see I have like millions of impressions now on all my YouTube videos. I've got like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on my YouTube channels combined, thousands and thousands and thousands of hours watched. It's built, and the good thing about YouTube is once you figure out your shit a little bit, you are rewarded for the work you put in. And that's something that stuck with me my whole life. I always felt like I would put in the work and never saw anything from it. I was always the guy who put in the extra work and didn't get noticed for it. On YouTube, you're working for yourself. You put in that work, you will see the rewards. So I encourage anyone who wants to be a YouTuber to try it. Just know it is without a doubt the hardest thing ever. Without a doubt, the hardest thing ever. It will take forever. It'll take all your time. It'll take your social life. You will not be able to do anything else, but it is lit. So understand that YouTube is the hardest thing ever. If it's very hard and you feel like it's impossible, that's on purpose. It's just like the Marines. It's just like the Navy SEALs. The point of the very beginning is to weed out who really cares and who really doesn't. I tried for 10 years before I found my niche. 10 fucking years. Think about that shit. How long have you ever done anything for 10 years? I haven't done almost anything for 10 years. I've done soccer for 10 years. I've done bodybuilding for almost 10 years. That's about it, dude. You don't do that many things for 10 years, and that's what it takes. Some people can hit a home run in the first try. That is not the reality. Charlie D'Amelio does not happen to everybody. That happens to 1 in a billion. Understand that. Understand and accept that YouTube will be the hardest thing you ever do, and if it's not, good luck. Or not even good. If it's not the hardest thing you've ever done, then you somehow found a gold mine. But if, in my experience, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. Don't go in with a mindset that's anything different, because you'll have these expectations that are unrealistic. Anyways, that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, click that like button, smash the like button. It helps me out tremendously. If you want to follow me on Twitter, join the Discord down below in the description. You're only hurting yourself if you're not in there, fam. You want to get 3 free stocks? Use my free my Weeble link down below in the description. You get free money. Helps me out directly. It's a free trading crypto and stocks platform. It's dope. It's lit. I've used it before. I appreciate y'all being here. If you want to see more of me right now, go to my fucking channel, binge some videos. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, continue on your Joyage. Continue to learn and be grateful you're alive watching this video.